Why does Elon Musk write and act on X like a 14-year-old in puberty? It doesn't make him more relatable or funny. If anything, I get the impression that he's a clown who should have nowhere the money and power he currently has. Is the delusional? Because he's narcissistic and immature. He thinks his opinions should become laws of nature. Being surrounded by people approving any inane words out of your mouth will do that. That's actually who he is. He obviously had a lot of people handing communication before, but that is unfiltered. He's a douchebag. Because he is a spoiled rich baby who has never had to grow up. He's also probably on a ton of drugs. Man-child who's never been told no and hasn't had to be held responsible for anything. The guy's a man-child. Because he mentally never matured past the point of being a 14-year-old in puberty. From his immature obsession with putting X in things to make it sound cooler, like a lot of kids do, to acting like a bully online, even calling a cave rescuer a pedo. Only a pubescent teen would sling that word around with such reckless abandon. I'm convinced the man lives on cocaine and never sleeps. He's just been living the same day since about 2020, and his sanity has just collapsed into whatever he is now. He's lost over $40 billion so far on the platform formerly known as Twitter. The fact that he publicly has worn a cowboy hat backwards and literally hip-fired a Barrett sniper rifle, I think, well reflect his terrible mismanagement style. Because he is immature and powerful. Twitter always has brought out the worst in people. Nobody can tell him no. At all his other businesses he has people that handle him and check his worst impulses. Either major investors or other C-suite people. At Twitter, not only does he have the means to affect the platform, he's fired everybody who's told him number. Because he's a dick. Because he has been allowed to act like a 14-year-old for too long. And if he alienates some people, there will always be others. At this point he has no reason to grow up. Also because being super rich and eccentric makes people ignore obvious flaws. He owns the platform, so there's zero repercussions to saying the most unhinged shit and spreading conspiracy theories because no one can ban him. Most narcissists get stuck at an age when they experience trauma. Hence Trump acts like a toddler and Musk like a pubescent boy. You don't have to grow up when you grow up with fuck you money. Because he is a weak, insecure narcissist. Donnie Trump did the same thing, if not worse, and people applauded him for it, so whatever, man. Twitter is dumb anyways, filled with idiots, lol. First time seeing someone call Twitter X. Elon Musk is the richest man on earth. He purged Twitter, the company, less so the app, of those who stood up to him too much. And he made it so people willing to pay him $8 a month will appear at the top of threads on Twitter. This combination of factors means he's surrounded himself with sycophants who will cheer him on. Pretty much no matter what. No matter what he does, he will see overwhelming adoration. Which means there's little pressure on him to not give in to his worst impulses like there is with most people. He literally is a man-child. I strongly believe he legitimately has narcissistic personality disorder. And stunted emotional development is a hallmark of the personality disorder. Because he can. That's literally the answer. As a rich kid he probably missed out on acting like a shitty teen with your annoying friends. He is living it out now. Why do people act surprised? Because that's who he really is in his head, a 14-year-old. Because he is trying to get as much publicity as he can using his shitty version of Twitter so it still seems relevant. X is a joke, and he basically threw away the already known name of Twitter, I'm guessing to save money somehow. Having a lot of money is obviously not good for us humans. Just look at what rich people are like. Also all the yes men and Elon fanboys. And there you go. We should tax wealth over $1 billion at a rate of 90. He's the monorail guy from The Simpsons. Because he's won the game of life. He's so incredibly wealthy that he no longer has to care about the average person's life problems anymore, so he can literally afford being a child again. I assume it's the default setting of all straight conservative white men. He's a fucking helmet. Amazing how many people think they're better than him. He has Asperger's. People don't grow up because it's good fun. People grow up because there's consequences if you don't. For a handful of people there are no consequences and we'd all do the same. Maybe your style would be different, but you'd act a fool too. Why does it trigger you? However much of a jerk he has become. He is a successful jerk. Okay, so he started life with wealth by all accounts. But it's easy to lose that if you don't know what you are doing. And instead he has prospered as far as I can tell. Maybe he is going off the rails a bit. I wonder if it's the same problem with billionaires as it is with dictators. Huge concentrations of wealth and power going to one individual. When they go nuts, there's nothing to stop them doing what they like with all that power. Like buying and trashing a popular online platform. Or starting a land war in Europe. Or conquering Taiwan. All the people are mad at Elon but would still buy Tesla and their stocks. The irony, lol. Because he can. I don't think he's too concerned with what you think. He's one of the original proponents of the fuck you money movement. Because it triggers people. That's when he peaked. Have you guys got stock in SpaceX, or why is everyone so concerned what a billionaire does with his time 24/7? Is it thread NR? 2 mil. In 3 weeks? Feels a bit body. It's like every human being on Reddit has been charged with publicly stating their opinion about a car and spacecraft company owner you'll never afford the product of. Can you elaborate further? I have just seen Elon Musk using X like everybody else uses it. To piss people off. It's good business, winning. Because he can do whatever he pleases. Sounds like you're jealous. Because he has the mentality of a 14-year-old in puberty. Hey, getting old and losing his mind. He supports Nazis and Russia. Do you really think he's that smart? Because he's an immature jerk. Yes, he's a genius, but that doesn't prevent him from being a jerk. Stop being ableist. He's on the autism spectrum. Proof that it's better to be lucky than to be smart. He's trying to keep up with Fetterman's posts? Why do most people just curse him here? Do people forget he has legit autism? Most of his posts aren't bad, no need to exaggerate. 'Cause of his self-awareness. Because he is too rich to care. He is surrounded by people who will always treat him as the biggest genius the earth has ever seen. He could say the stupidest shit and you'll always have people to applaud him. He never went beyond the potty training phase, really. Same old why are you poor? This is the way he has always been. But before he bought Twitter you could ignore it or it would get plastered over in favor of the hagiographic myth-making people would normally do about him. Because he's pandering to people who like that sort of crap. He's also trying to fill a void, so he needs attention. So the young people can understand him. Like. He's socially developmentally delayed. I've always thought it was Asperger's actually.